I started wrestling in like 4th grade, and I would get these questions a lot, or sometimes I would just think about the question, what made me start wrestling, and then I realized I actually don't really know. I used to play soccer, and I did nothing in the winter. My dad called it from downstairs. He's like, "Hey, Charlise, do you want to try something new? Do you want to try wrestling?" And I didn't know how hardcore it was until I got there. First year I got there, I was like, this is a lot harder than I thought. So
Charlise became interested in wrestling when she was younger. She played with a boys team that was near us. She didn't really get interested in it until recently. We found out last year that girls wrestling became a sanctioned sport here in Utah, and she thought, I can do that. She is really, really tough. She works hard. Many people don't know this, but she goes to practice here, and then when she's done with that practice, 2 days a week, she goes and practices at Copper Hills and practices with another team there. And then she comes home and she works out, and she's lifting weights, and she's running 3 miles on the treadmill, and she's doing this day after day to prepare her body and prepare her mind. This is her first year doing wrestling, and she's the only girl on the team, which is daunting for many. I mean, it's a traditional boy sport, and usually in high school you want to be able to play with people who are your friends and you get close to, and so being the only girl can be tough.
my relationship with the boys have been very good. They've always been super respectful, they've always been super nice to me, and I feel like they really treat me as an equal. If you hear your team chanting your name, it just gets you hyped up, gets you going. But yeah, for the most part, it's mostly an individual sport. Like, if you lose, it's all on you. But if you win, it's all on you. It's your win.
Yeah, I'm technically her coach because for Summit, there really is only one girl. And while Coach Wagner's great and he can come to the tournaments that he can, most of the time he has to attend the tournaments with the boys, which are at the same time. And so because of that, I'm her coach. I don't know anything about wrestling though, that's the challenge. But I am a really good cheerleader, I'm a good videographer, and I have helped get her signed up for these different tournaments. And with the help of other coaches that we meet at the tournament, as well as Coach Wagner, we'll send him videos and he'll give us tips of what to do and what not to do. We've made it work, and it's been really fun so far.
It's mostly hard being the girl wrestler when I'm going to other girl tournaments, because I don't have anyone like on my team to really like support me, except for like my family who comes and my coaches who sometimes come. But like when I'm going to tournaments or duels with the boys, it feels like a team and I don't feel alone. I'd say the conditioning is definitely hard, like, because you have to condition like so much, get your body like in shape, and then when you're wrestling, you're still out of breath. Like, but the point is to be better and more in shape than your opponent. And another hard thing about wrestling is, just wrestling, because you're just fighting and for up to 6 minutes and you're just giving it your all. Mentality is a huge part of wrestling, because if you go into a match not thinking you're gonna win, you're probably not gonna win, because you don't have that confidence and you're not thinking about what you're doing. And if you think about what you're gonna do and you have confidence and you're aggressive, then it's just gonna go a lot better. Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated, especially when I'm getting pinned, because it's really uncomfortable when I'm getting pinned, and sometimes my mind has a little voice that says, if you just give up right now, then you don't have to be here. But I try to like shove that voice away. So actually my first year ever wrestling was in 4th grade, and I was going against only boys, all boys. I sucked. I'm just being honest, I sucked. I lost every single match of that year, and my dad's number one rule is like, you can do whatever sport you want to, I'm not gonna push you to do anything, but if you start something, you have to finish it. So he would not let me quit, and I would not quit. So I would go to every tournament, every weekend, and I would just lose. But then the next week, maybe I would not lose by a pin and lose by points, but would still lose. But in the last match of my first season, almost the very last match, I pinned a kid, and that was the first time I ever felt a win from wrestling, and it felt so good. I'm like, you know what, I'll do the sport again. even after all those losses, just that win at the end, I was like, that felt good. I want to do that again. I want to feel that again.
Girls wrestling has a lot of benefits, I think. I mean, it's really empowering when you think about it. Anything that the boys can do, girls can do too. And it's so great that Utah now has wrestling as a sanctioned sport for girls, and they can wrestle each other in their same weight classes. And it's strong and it's exciting, and she really enjoys it. So I'm glad that she's able to do something that she really enjoys.
I am interested in it, and we're researching it, trying to look for colleges and seeing what's available. I definitely think it's worth it. Even though wrestling is a hard sport, it's good in the end because you feel like I just did something hard. I worked for something and I just did something hard, and I feel good after it. I think what motivates me is that I always want to be better.